Hey guys, welcome back to Talk Shit with P. Today it's gonna be a solo trip. I'm by myself, and this is an episode for the graduates of 2020. First of all, congratulations to all graduates of 2020 in whatever level you graduated on. It's a milestone, it's an accomplishment, and we are proud of all of you. So cheers, graduates of 2020. And now I would like to mainly speak to the undergrads because I relate more to them, and this episode kind of mostly touches to them. But the advices got to everybody, but my story mainly builds up to undergrads. So I know this ain't how you imagined your graduation year to go by, but hey, here we are. I know it sucks that your final moments of your undergrads were robbed and it wasn't how it was supposed to be. You all missed out on certain moments, and who knows, they could have been the biggest moments of your grad year. Everybody waits for those moments, to walking the stage with your cap and gown, and your family is there cheering you on, and your friends, and taking those selfies and final pictures with your favorite lecturers, with your classmates and your families. Maybe you are the first person to graduate in your family, and you know that picture of your parents cheering you on, and you in that cap and gown, and taking pictures in campus in your favorite spots, with your cap and gown. All those things, they are monumental, and a lot of y'all didn't get to do them this year. And it sucks. It really does. So you're allowed to suck about it. You're allowed to redo it next year, hopefully. It just isn't how you had imagined that your graduation year would go, right? But it's funny, when I was thinking, I've been thinking about doing this episode for y'all for a while, right? So in the beginning of June, I was thinking a lot of my late uncle, and which brought memories of Malaysia. So I was trying to find a way to come up with this episode, and I was working at that time. I was getting ready to work on my episode 8. I was also interviewing 2 other people, which I wasn't sure yet where to put those episodes, and I was working on a lot of stuff with my job as well. So I was kind of busy, and I couldn't come up with this episode, to be honest. Like, I knew I wanted to say some words to the graduates, but I couldn't come up with the flow of the episode. So I kept it to the side. Like, I was like, you know what? I'll deal with this later. So I worked on everything else, and that evening, I sat outside at my balcony, right? And I was thinking about my uncle and the moments I had in Malaysia. And I remembered how my graduation ended up to be. And I was like, fuck, I actually have a flow for these people, for my graduates. So I left my peacefulness outside. I swear, if my mic wasn't hung to my desk, I would have probably pulled my mic out and said, because the weather was nice. It was a great evening. I was enjoying the nice breeze outside, and all these things started flowing in my head. So I had to rush back inside and record it. And this was 2 weeks ago. But then I ended up recording episode 8, and I was like, you know what? This is more important. Let's release that first. And today, actually, what's the date today? This is the 17th of June at 6 p.m. I'm sitting here and recording this episode all over again, because I listened to it. I listened to the one I recorded it, and it sounded good, but it sounded rushed. Like I wasn't properly addressing you guys, but more like just talking my shit out. So I was like, nah, that ain't right. So here I am recording this again to you. I had to say the story of how it came about before going into the story. So, since 2020 has been an unpredictable year, my graduation was an unpredictable graduation. So I figured I could relate to you guys and share my story. And even though I got to walk the stage, I still didn't get to share that moment with my family and most of my friends. So I figured, if I can share my story, maybe y'all won't be too sad about missing out on your big day. So I finished my undergraduate in December 2013. I remember it was after my last exam. Me and my friends went to our favorite place, the water fountain, and we took crazy pictures because our exam was the last one and it was at night. So it was amazing. We almost wanted to push each other on the water, but we kind of had to get home. So yes, so we didn't. But I left, I remember, 3-4 days after my last exam. Imagine packing up all your life and you're leaving a country you've been there for 5 years for good. Yes. So I packed up and I was at the airport with Ali Kikwete. He took me to the airport, like we met up at the airport to say goodbye. And I called my late Uncle Cisco to tell him, yo man, we did it, I'm coming home. He was already home by then, he was transferred. Actually retired, more like it. So I was leaving, going home, and with Malaysia, the way it was, we had two with Taylor's University, we had two graduations in April and November. But when us, the hospitality tourism students, every semester had an internship after it before coming back to school, because we had to use both class training and be out there, because most hospitality is practical, so we had practical and theory. So after our final exams, we still had to do a 3-month internship, hence why we couldn't graduate in April, because our internship results had to come back. So our graduation wasn't gonna be until 2014 November. So even the schools I was accepted for my grad school, which was Georgia State, and I was also accepted in Switzerland, both of them approved me, but unconditional, until I got my proper graduation certificate, which wasn't until November. So I did enjoy my graduation gifts and parties. As I said, I finished in December. I went home. I milked it all the way. I got to stay in a hotel for my entire vacation. I got to spend New Year's with my dad in Arusha. I got to do my internship in Dubai, and that's when I came to America. So my graduation was in November 2014, and it was a big thing. Like, we had planned with my dad. My little brother Alvin was going to come from South Africa. I'd already talked to him. My dad was going to come with my grandma. We booked a nice Airbnb in KL for a whole week. We were going to do a whole week of family, But due to things out of our control, just like the pandemic just like Corona 2020, plans had to change last minute. So my grandmother got sick, she couldn't travel, and my dad couldn't leave her home alone. So my dad had to stay with him. Alvin had to come to DC and handle some stuff, so he couldn't come to my graduation. So I was left going to my graduation by myself. Imagine, I was looking forward to this moment for a long time. It was the first graduation where everybody was going to attend, and nobody attended. So for my international students, I feel for you guys, because despite not being able to walk the stage, unlike your other classmates, they had family around. Okay, maybe apart from out of state, but those who were also out of state, I know some of their parents could drive, or they drove back home, especially since school was out for a while and people were doing online classes. But as who are international students, our parents have to travel to come be with us. The borders are closed and everything. So I really understand. I went to my graduation shut up by myself. At that time, my best friend, she was the only one who could come, and she overslept, so she didn't even show up. Yes, so I was just by myself. Thank God to, let me put some respect on her name, Dr. Sarah. Her parents were there, and her brother, and they stood up for me. The brother took amazing photos of me while I was accepting my degree, and the family celebrated with me. So it felt less of it, but it still sucked. One of my biggest accomplishments, like, I did 5 years for that degree, and I had nobody to celebrate it with. However much that I had celebrated it in December, like, the parties and everything, but my big moment was walking that stage and having my family cheer me on, and sadly it didn't. So I want to encourage y'all, and don't let this drag you down. This is just the beginning of so many more disappointments in life, but also a lot more accomplishments and a lot more victories and a lot more celebrations and a lot more things to look forward to. So don't let this down you. Hey, you graduated. You went, some of you 3 years, some 4, some 5, depending on whatever you're studying. You went through all that, all the assignments, all the late nights, all the annoying lectures, all the group works with lazy group mates, all of those. You got through that and you're graduating. Whether you got to walk the stage or not, whether your family was there or not, be proud of yourself for that. You made it. And I also want to tell you that if anything that this pandemic has taught us is that shit doesn't go as planned. So that's a good lesson to prepare you to while you're joining this world out there. Shit never goes as planned. And you're more stronger than you think you are. Because the strength that took for you to get through these last few months of your undergrad, especially when you're doing it online with no supervision, with no I'm sorry, I'm all for, I want to face some, I want to sit there and listen to you telling me and teaching me and writing it down. I'm a person who can't do all these online things. I'm okay with it, but that's why even for grad school, I opt out of the option of doing it online. I prefer being able to schedule a meeting with my professor and sitting down and I know with the last you missed that and all that, but with the strength that you had, you pulled through and you made it. So if anything, Corona just showed us how much strength we have within ourselves. And sometimes circumstances beyond our control happen, and we just supposed to continue staying focused, hopeful, and we're going to push through. So with that being said, I want to tell you something, that fly as high as you can, because sky has never been the limit. I know we always used to say sky is the limit, but if you've been on a plane, sometimes you go above the clouds, so sky ain't never been the limit. Keep on pushing, and your strength, let me tell you something, there's nothing that hard times what hard times are there for is to show your strength. That's when your strength shows out. So let your strength show out. Don't let nothing beat you down. As long as you continue remembering that sky has never been the limit, that you can go higher and higher. So I want you to realize that and keep that in mind. And I want that, just like how with the pandemic, you stayed focused and reached your goal. Stay focused throughout your life, throughout your career. Stay focused. Remember that in this life, there's going to be a lot of detours. And either purposely or circumstances or whatever the reason, you're going to have some detours into your life, into your career, into your plan. So take as much detours as you can, because life really isn't predictable. But as long as you're focused, you won't lose your direction of where you're supposed to be heading. So staying focused is number one important in everything that you do. And let nobody shame you in taking detours. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to take time off, there's no competition, there's no rush, there's nothing in this world that should make you feel like you're behind. Because baby girl, your time is right there. It doesn't matter if you take a detour, whatever, all those are for the reasons that are holding you there for a reason. let me tell you something. When I graduated undergrad, I thought like, fuck yeah, this is it. Now my life is about to start. But bruh, was I wrong? I was like, oh, okay, so that's not how this works, right? Because no, your life is not, yes, your life is about to start, but it's going to start in every direction that you didn't expect it to start. So all those plans that you had, look at us now. Drop, they're gone. You need to make new plans. That's why details are important. That's why plan B, C's, and D's are important. And that's why don't focus on the plan, focus on the journey. Like, let the journey lead you, Yes, the road will never be straightforward. For some, it might. That's where these privileges come through. But for some, it might. So don't let all those no's, and trust me, you're going to hear a lot of no's before you're going to hear yes. Some gonna be lucky and get the first yeses before they get the no's, but most of us, you're gonna get a lot of no's before you get yes. Don't let that stop you from going. Keep on knocking. Knock as many doors. Eventually, the door will open. You're gonna be slammed on a lot, but you will get there. So don't let all these detours, these corners, these door slams, these no's, even if you gotta start from the bottom and you expected, oh, I have a degree, or I have all these experiences, I should be there. No, baby girl. It's gonna be a whole lot of hard work, a lot of proving yourself, a lot of lowering your ego and pride. And those two things, however big your ego and pride is, you're gonna have to tune them down, bring them down a notch, because sometimes those are your worst enemies. So all I'm telling you is life out there is not as how you planned it, and it might sound cruel, but I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm just trying to be real with you. Your dream job, you might get it from the get-go, but sometimes in order to get your dream job, you're gonna have to do a lot of lousy jobs. But if you do good in those lousy jobs, they're going to take you there faster than if you also just take them as lousy jobs. Be proud in whatever you do. It doesn't matter if that's not where you want it to be. It doesn't matter, oh, I have a degree, I shouldn't be doing this kind of job. Do it well, do it proudly. People are going to be like, oh my God, you're too good for this. Yes, I'm too good, but this is where I gotta be right now. Because you never know, sometimes the connections, the networks come in places you never expect them to. I remember one time Issa Rae had said something that goes like, we tend to network only in our circle. Like, oh my God, I have a degree, I should only talk to people with degrees, or I should only go to this. That's good and all, but also a degree is nothing. Trust me, there's so many people out there with degrees, with much experiences and no jobs. There are people without the degree and experience and with a job that you should have with a degree. So it all depends on how you network. So just because you have a lousy job doesn't mean you shouldn't network in that surrounding as well. Because some people just like doing lousy jobs because they are not dreaming as big as you are. So your connection can come to that, but because of your pride and your ego and looking down on people, you're like, oh fuck that, she wouldn't know this. But that could be your connection. That person could be the reason how you get to that next level. So don't take nobody for shit, for granted, for whatever. Network around, network everywhere you go, network. Tell them like, oh yeah, you do this, yeah, I do this, I'm trying to get here. Because if they don't know it, they might know somebody who does. So network everywhere. Don't let your ego and pride stop you. Ask. Sometimes we are too prideful to ask. We're like, oh yeah, Do you think that, like, when somebody is talking to you, like, let's say you go to a wedding or to a drinks up and you meet people and they're like, yeah, in my company, right? Oh, are you guys hiring? Never be too scared to ask if they're hiring or if they know somebody from HR. Make sure you have always walk with your business cards, just hand them around, talk yourself up. As long as you're constantly talking yourself up and you're selling yourself and you know your worth, you will eventually get there. But don't be scared to start small. Don't be scared to start low. Don't take anybody or anything for granted. Don't look down on nobody, and work hard in whatever you're doing, whatever it is. Because trust me, even that manager, let's say, okay, you're not getting the job you want. Your bills gotta be paid. So you end up getting a job at a grocery store or something. And you never know, your manager, his son, his cousin, his best friend, his daughter-in-law, his goddaughter, his somebody can be working for a company you want to work for. But because in that job, you're acting stupid because, oh, it's just a grocery store, this is not what I want to do with my life. This is not where I should even be. But I need the money. If you have that attitude and you're doing lousy job, do you think that your manager will actually want to recommend you to somebody? Because they'll be like, damn, they can't take anything serious. But if you're showing up on time, doing your job, helping a hand, being nice, even if you know you're too good for that job, your manager will look like, damn, this guy, why is he here? He'll start talking to you and you'll start talking to them. And they'll be like, oh my God, that's what you wanted? I got somebody there. And they'll recommend you because of your work ethic. Work ethic is important. Character is important. Let me tell you something. Do you know how many times I didn't have qualifications for a certain job or place that I shouldn't even have worked at, but my character got me there? If you have a good character and you're very confident, you can bullshit your way through anything. Just walk in there like, I got this. I'll be like, yo, listen, I really don't know how to do this, but if you show me, I guarantee you in 2 days, I'll be able to do it way better. And you go with that work ethic and your character is always positive and excited and happy. I know we all have those days where we really don't want to be at work. Everybody has those days, but you can't have those days constantly. They'll be like, nah, she's just lazy. But show up, do your work, be a team player. Trust me, you will get to wherever you need to get faster. So also keep in mind that dreams do change a lot of times. So I had a different idea of where my life was and what I wanted to be. And today, if you ask me, it's totally something different. Actually, first, big up to me. I got promoted on Monday. I've been working. I really didn't think I wanted this promotion, but after Corona, like, I've been talking about this opportunity before Corona, right? And then Corona happened just as I was about to, and I wasn't sure if I wanted it or not. But during Corona and coming back to work, and ask anybody at work who knows me, my attitude has been different from before we went off for Corona. And I realized how much I wanted this position, this promotion. And I think they were also trying to see, because they knew, like, yeah, Paula has been doing this and we know she's good and we have offered this before and she's refused. And I've actually been refusing this position before because I had different dreams then and I was working different way and I was trying to build something else. But as I say, dreams do change. Corona made me evaluate my life and everything, and I realized that I wanted it. So since we have opened back up, it's been a month and a week or so since we've been back at work. And my attitude has been different. My work ethic has been different. And I think they realized like, okay, Paula is really showing us she's ready now and she wants this. And I got it. I got promoted on Monday. And I'm proud of myself. And because I also see the growth within myself. And that, to be honest, I now can say I deserve this promotion because of what I've been doing and what I've been working for. So everything is possible. Everything is possible. And this is not the job I actually thought I would be wanting to pay much attention to it. And here I am. My dreams are changing. And I'm thankful that. So here's the thing about dreams changing. As much as dreams change, you also need to make sure that you don't stay a dreamer. And what I mean by that is, don't be a person who's constantly dreaming of something. Even if your dreams change, but you're constantly dreaming, you're never doing anything to achieve those dreams. That means you're just a dreamer. But if your dreams change, and as they change, you're doing whatever it takes in whatever pace it's meant, as long as you keep moving towards your new dream, that is dream chasing. So make sure you don't be like, oh yeah, I'm dream chasing, but you're just a dreamer. So just as I said, my dreams changed, and I didn't stay being a dreamer. I chased it. I worked hard for it, and here we go. My dream is finally working out for me. And trust me, I have 2, 3, 4 dreams to achieve, and I'm using one dream to get me there to be able to achieve other dreams, if you get what I'm saying. So sometimes it might not be where you want to be, but where you want to be is where it's going to take you to where you want to be, if that makes sense. So try in whatever job you are, however crappy it is, try to be inspired. Find something that inspires you out of that job and walk around it. Also remember that you should always be able to change the way you live, think, and learn. If anything 2020 has taught us is you have to be adaptable to change, and not only change of your surroundings, but the way you live, the way you think, and the way you learn. And if you have that within a company or where you're working or with your dreams, it's easy to keep on moving forward because you're easy to adapt. You might be in the same company with somebody, and let's say you've been there for 5 years. Somebody new comes, and within 2 years, they get promoted. You know why? Because they're willing to adapt. They're willing to change the way they think and to learn and to live around the new surroundings. But if you're constantly staying there like, nah, I don't want to learn anything new, why would somebody pick you? You don't want to learn. You don't want to adapt to the new changes. Those are like, they call those the old people who just want the way things are the way they are. But we are in a world that technology is around and it's constantly evolving. So the way we do things are constantly changing. You need to learn. Like in my job, when I was hired to be a sales floor person. But I'm a person who likes to be, what's the word we use? Hold on. I'm trying to think of this word that we use. Oh my God. Okay, if I remember it, I'll use it. But for some reason, I can't think of that word right now. But you see, I started learning things. They would ask me, hey, you want to learn to do this? Because the person who normally does it is not around. So I'll say, yes, I want to learn that. And I've been in this job of mine. It's been 5 years. And I can tell you that I know how to do everything in that damn store. And there are people who have been there 5 years and there are still a few things they can't do. Why? Because either they're not interested in learning or they're just comfortable with what they want to do, where they are. And that's fine. But because I want to be, yes, I was looking for the word asset. I want to be an asset. Now, when you know every area, you are an asset. I like to be an asset because let's say like Corona is coming right now, right? And they had to get rid of people. Of course, they're going to get rid of those people who just know one thing. Because they'll be like, oh, that's easy to train person. But Paula is an asset because she can do everything around here. So we need her. So it's always good to learn everything around your job. Like, don't just learn your job. Learn. If people want to teach you, be willing to learn, because that's an asset to have. And that's easy to get much further because like, oh, she knows a lot of more stuff. It will be easier when she goes to the top compared to training a whole new person. So wherever you are, be an asset. Don't be a liability. Be an asset. Also, don't ever take chances for granted. Ever. And use every connection you got. Trust me, sometimes all you need is to ask and always be eager to learn. Because sometimes we have these connections, but again, it comes to pride and ego. Your pride is too high that you're scared to ask. But that's the whole point of the connections. At the end of the day, if you ask, it also shows you know your worth. And as long as you have the confidence to go with it, it's easy. So don't take chances for granted. Use your connections, network, have confidence. Be eager to learn, be okay to adapt and change the way you live, and be ready to be inspired. Always find ways to be inspired. All those are your biggest tools. And always leave your ego and pride outside. We all got them, and sometimes we need to check them. Because those can be the reasons you end up losing on your dream or on your way out. Like on all the things you want because she has a big ego or her pride is too high. Nobody wants people with too much pride or too much ego. So don't let your ego or pride stop you from reaching your goals. I'm going to remind you something. A lot of people have degrees and some even got experience. So you saying, oh, but I got a degree. Oh, but I have experience. A lot of people have that. But as long as you leave your ego and pride out there and you're willing to learn and never stop learning, ever. Let people educate you. Let the books educate you. Let online educate you. Learn from your friends. Learn from your colleagues. Learn from your customers. Always be willing to learn, to adapt, to evolve. The whole purpose, that's why we celebrate birthdays, because you're here. If you can grow a year, why can't you also evolve your mind, you know? It's that simple. So graduates of 2020, the world is yours to grab. But also know that it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of doors slamming on you, a lot of no's, and a lot of small steps to get to the big step. But you're going to get there as long as you're willing to get there. Trust me, it's a whole big world out there to explore. And make sure you explore it wisely in all ways. Take chances. Jump as high as you can. Dance in the rain. And enjoy every experience out there that's given to you. Even if it's out of your dreams, out of your job area, out of anything you've ever imagined, do it, because you never know. As I say, dreams change, but in order for dreams to change, you have to have an open mind. So go into everything with an open mind and let it lead you to where you're supposed to lead. And always put God first in everything. Cheers to graduates of 2020. May this year, half of this year, be much better than the other half, and make 2021 be yours to conquer. Talk shit with P out.